What's up folks, Justin Phillip here, Dog Times Productions, and today we're going to be continuing the cinematography lighting series, building off of natural light. Now this first whole portion of the series is more about lighting for a kind of a daytime episodic, where it's not so much contrasty looks, not very dark images, but the second portion of this series, once we make it there, is the close-up side angle, and we went for a little darker, more of a contrast lighting ratio. So thank you for watching, and let me know what you guys think about these tutorials. If you're into it, if you're not into it, maybe we just won't do these anymore in the future. However, before we jump back into the series, I had a great question this morning about someone hit me up asking about how I got the HDMI signal out to my Shinobi by sending everything across HDMI, meaning they were having trouble getting time code and false color and grid and all that stuff transferred out via HDMI onto their monitor through the BlackMagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. So I'm going to show you guys that very briefly, how to get different outputs via HDMI on your BlackMagic Pocket 4K, and then from there it'll just go right back into the tutorial. As always, thank you so much for watching. Big shout out and gigantic thank you to all of my loyal subscribers. You guys rock. Keep those comments coming in, keep that feedback coming in. Let me know what you guys want to see more of, let me know what you want to see less of, and with that being said, enjoy. Here you'll see I have the BlackMagic set up. There's the Shinobi over there, and here's the BlackMagic. Now, as you'll notice, I have a clean feed going from the HDMI of the BlackMagic out to the Shinobi. You'll see here we have all the time code and everything, and there is nothing showing up on the Shinobi. So I'm going to show you guys how you can output that so you can get a signal out to your monitor. We're going to tap this button here that has 3 lines. That's your menu button. Go in here, go to your monitor setting. You'll see in here we're in HDMI. I have clean feed on right now. Uncheck clean feed. And as soon as I do that, everything is automatically spitting out to the Shinobi. Let me adjust my exposure. And there you'll see it's showing up time code and everything of that nature. Now, right now, it is set on the directors. Now, here's something cool you can do. If you're not getting the proper stuff you want to get across, you tap over here, and you'll see it's set on director. So if you tap cinematographer, now you'll have different settings show up there on your monitor. Now I have time code, the ISO, the tint, everything that shows up on the BlackMagic. And now when I tap over here, when I get out of this menu and I turn on my function buttons, then you'll see the grid popped up over there on the Shinobi. You'll see it there. See there, grid's off and on. My false color sends through, and then my safety marks. Pretty much everything goes through there. Now, if you want stuff constantly on your monitor, then you could go back into here and you could just turn all this stuff on. Keep your LUT on, keep your frame guide on. You can keep your safe area guide on. These are all things where you can keep on if you just want to keep them on. But what I suggest doing is, rather than keeping all of this stuff on, just go over here, make sure you have, it's up to you if you want your status text. I imagine you would. That way you can quickly see, you know, your ISO, your time code, all of that stuff, your shutter, your aperture. You see when I uncheck the status text, that stuff goes away. So I'm imagining you're wanting that, and it depends what you want. Now watch, if you tap director, now you get a different text, which is cool, because now we just see what reel it is, what creator, you know, that's me, JP, what camera it is, the frame rate, you know, stuff that you would send out to your director's monitor. And I think that's a really cool feature. I suggest just keeping it on display status text for cinematographer with status text on, and keep all of this stuff off, essentially, because as long as you have a cinematographer feed out via HDMI, it's automatically going to send whatever you have with your function buttons. My function 1 is the grid, there's the grid. My function 2 is false color, there's the false color. My function 3 is the safe area guide, but you can't really, that's not really showing up via the GH5. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, just very slightly around the edges, you'll see it flashing off and on. So there you go, guys. I hope that helped you get a proper feed via out HDMI. We're not quite ready to do this. We're not shooting yet. I'm just walking you guys through my settings. Okay, I'm on a T4 up here on my CineLens. And let's see, the next thing I need to do is check my focus. So this is what I do for focus. The Shinobi, I call this the X-ray focus peaking. I don't know what it's called, but it's pretty badass. Okay, so then there's that. And I have my zebras on, are both set to 95% zebra. Okay, so now this is kind of an okay frame, I guess. But now looking at this, I know that I'm gonna come over here, fix this lampshade, and probably push this over a little bit, push this whole table over a little bit. So I have something interesting going on in the frame here. And now you'll see, I got myself a little bit of a wicked shadow there. Okay, so now we're gonna start playing with our lights and things because we know the levels are good where we want them. So if I had an assistant with me, you know, I could kind of walk them through what I want them to change lighting-wise while I'm standing behind the camera watching the monitor. But there's not always the budget to have an assistant with me on set, someone that knows how I like to work. So in that case, I have to swap my monitor around like this. And you'll see now why I use this little small rig, little quick thumb screw, because I can quickly. So now I have my monitor turned around so I can watch what the hell's going on. Okay, so now what I want to do is put a little aperture LED up under here. And that way I can control a practical light. So I can dim it really low, but I'll have a nice little light over here on the side. And basically all I'm going to do with that is I'm going to crab clamp it right here to this lamp and pump some light on in this. And I can watch on my monitor there and make sure it doesn't peek out. So now I got a little something interesting going on here on the side, but I still have to fix that shadow. And now you'll see I've really rearranged the room here, the lighting setup here. Let me go this way so you can watch, see what the hell's going on. Not really doing it. So what I can try to do is pump it up with the gold side. And now this will be really interesting. Okay, so now we're back at it here. So I've put my dimmable aperture LED inside of the lamp here. I've got my gold reflector just kicking a little bit of light back onto her. My huge natural ambient light out here, and my big Kino 4 bank up above with a quarter diffusion splashing down on her. And it's looking really nice in the monitor here. It's not looking lit at all, in my opinion. It doesn't look lit. Now, maybe in someone else's opinion it would. I don't know. So now, what I'd like to do is play with some negative fill. I have this little fast flag kit. I'm not like a super amazing gaffer or anything like that, but that's why I'm back in school to get certified in cinematography, because I am trying to really hone my lighting skills. Yeah, right here. This whole little area here is on the danger zone of blowing out on the BlackMagic. Now that is because that wall is all white there, and you know, it's just because of the way I have it lit. Now it's not blowing out because it's not even hitting 95 yet, but it is edging pretty close when looking on false color. All right, there we go. So just by playing with the barn doors on my Kino 4 bank here, I was able to really lose that spot on the wall behind her that was looking a little dangerous. Hello?
What, you making YouTube videos now? You one of those vloggers? What's going on?
I just want to create a network, you know, a low-budget indie filmmaker sharing tips and tricks with other low-budget indie filmmakers. That's it.